In a high school classroom during a lecture, the atmospheric feels dense and quietly uncomfortable, desks aligned perfectly, yet attention scattered, a strange tension hanging in the room that no one names, the kind of tension that lives inside the body, not the mind. A subtle heaviness that follows recent choices and settles into posture, breath, and presence. The lecture continues, but awareness drifts inward. There is a sensation of being slightly out of sync, like arriving late to a meeting. No one mentions it, but you know, the rhythm is off, confidence feels muted, reactions delayed, and the internal spark that usually sharpens perception feels dimmed, as if energy is being rationed. This feeling is difficult to label. It is not loud guilt or dramatic shame. It is quieter, more biological, a low-level depletion that creates timidity, weakness, and hesitation. The body knows before language catches up, and the nervous system starts pulling back from engagement. What makes it more unsettling is the sense that others can feel it too. Conversations feel thinner, eye contact shorter, and there is an invisible distance forming without conflict or explanation. Humans are remarkably sensitive to vitality. In absence of it, sends a signal, even when words stay polite. Over time, patterns reveal themselves. There are phases of life where energy is high, social life flows easily, and opportunities seem to stack naturally. And there are phases where everything feels heavier, connections weaken, and effort yields less return. These patterns are not random. They track behavior and internal resource management. During depleted phases, the mirror becomes brutally honest. Skin looks dull, eyes lack clarity, and the face carries the weight of exhaustion. Photos feel confrontational because they capture a truth you feel but cannot articulate. The body appears drained and the mind follows suit. Social consequences arrive quietly, fewer invitations, weaker bonds, and a subtle loss of favor within friendships. Nothing dramatic, just a gradual fading from the center of attention toward the margins, where presence is optional rather than sought after. At its lowest point, the deterioration creates fear because the decline feels physical, not emotional. There is a moment where the question arises whether something is seriously wrong. Health feels compromised, and vitality seems to be slipping, without a clear external cause. Isolation amplifies this state. Living alone removes external structure, and the mind circles its own impulses. Without interruption, habits reinforce themselves, and the feedback loop tightens. Social attempts feel forced, connection lacks warmth, and even neutral interactions carry unexpected friction. This is not a moral failure narrative, this is operational burnout. At the biological level, energy is being spent without strategy, and the system is paying the price. Creativity dulls, resilience drops, and social intelligence loses its edge. Then circumstances shift. Shared spaces, tighter boundaries, fewer opportunities for indulgence, and suddenly restraint is no longer optional, it is structural. Sexual energy has nowhere to escape and begins redirecting upward into focus, work, movement, and awareness. The change is not immediate, but it is undeniable. Productivity increases, effort compounds, savings grow, and discipline becomes easier. Not because of willpower, but because the system finally has surplus energy to allocate. Social gravity returns naturally. Friendships form with less effort, conversations deepen, and attraction feels less like chasing and more like alignment. People respond differently because something fundamental has shifted beneath the surface. Physical routines become rituals, not punishment. Workouts feel grounding rather than draining. The body responds quickly and strength returns with interest. The reflection in the mirror improves, but the real upgrade is internal coherence. This pattern repeats too consistently to ignore. Periods of frequent release align with downward trajectories, while periods of conservation align with growth, stability, and connection. The correlation becomes impossible to dismiss when observed. Across years, looking back, the lesson feels obvious, like ignoring a recurring system warning. Sexual indulgence, without intention, leaks energy, the way a cracked pipeline leaks pressure slowly but relentlessly. No one is drawn to decay in food, water, or flowers. Life seeks life, and humans are no exception. Deterioration signals scarcity, and scarcity repels, while vitality signals abundance, and abundance attracts. Appearance is not shallow, it is data. It is a visual summary of internal order, health, and discipline. The body broadcasts information continuously, and others read it instinctively. The human body is an inherited platform shaped by ancestral habits, and current decisions live in alignment with natural constraints, and the system optimizes itself automatically. Some people begin with inherited disadvantages, markers of past excess or neglect, encoded into biology. This does not remove agency, it simply raises the importance of conscious strategy. Every life moves toward refinement or breakdown. There is no neutral, idle state. Daily habits push the trajectory in one direction or the other, whether acknowledged or ignored. The loss of seed is not evil, but it is expansive. Nature prices it high for a reason. Pleasure exists to ensure survival, not to justify constant spending without return. In the wild, reproduction follows cycles of restraint, preparation, and precise timing. Animals conserve, build, and then invest everything at the right moment when conditions favor success. Humans imagining exemption from biology is a risky position. The evolution does not negotiate, and systems that ignore constraints eventually pay compounded costs. Retention is not mysticism, it is resource management, conserving what is rare within the body to fuel higher functions. Clarity, resilience, creativity, and social intelligence. More conserved energy equals more bandwidth for life. People respond because value recognizes value at a primal level. Vitality is felt before it is understood. When living feels heavy and social energy feels blocked, the lever may be simpler than expected. Conserve internal resources and observe how the environment responds. This is not about denial or repression. It is about leverage, timing, and intentional investment. Energy retained does not stagnate. It compounds interest. Presence sharpens voice. Steadies and friendships deepen without force. Conversations gain weight because attention is fully funded. Discipline now creates optionality. Later restraint is not loss. It is deferred power stored for strategic deployment. The signal you broadcast changes, and the social network recalibrates accordingly. Doors open where resistance once existed. This is not theory. It is pattern recognition across time, bodies, and environments, repeated often enough to become undeniable. Social energy is not charisma alone. It is surplus life force made visible in posture, tone, and attention. When that surplus exists, people feel safer, more engaged, and more inclined to invest in connection. Retention shifts the internal economy from consumption to production. The body stops reacting and starts leading. Friendships deepen because presence deepens attention, widens, and empathy becomes effortless rather than performative. The nervous system relaxes. When resources are abundant, humor returns, spontaneity rises, and interactions feel lighter. The discipline creates a quiet confidence that does not need validation. It simply exists, and others feel it. Energy conserved internally radiates outward, shaping reputation, trust, and influence. Without deliberate signaling over time, the lifestyle compounds. Identity shifts from reactive to grounded, from scattered to centered. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. Now, before you go channel that incredible energy, you know the drill. Hit that like button to send a signal to the algorithm. And if you haven't yet joined the movement, smash subscribe right now. This is how personal power rebuilds quietly, without slogans, without noise, through alignment and patience. The strategy is simple but not easy. Conserve, build, invest intentionally, and let biology do the rest. Choose conservation, and momentum returns, not as hype, but as stability, strength, and genuine connection. This is the long game where friendships, social, energy, and self-respect grow together. Power retained becomes power, expressed naturally, and life responds accordingly.